Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, this is Josh, and welcome back to an incredible, amazing, wonderful, terrific best-of-3 series being played between alternate attacks Socke, or Socke if you're German. He is the light blue Protoss up here on the top spawn of Scrap Station. His opponent today is the ever-present Maro. He is the green Zerg over here on the right side, and he's got the less favorable Zerg position on this map, as it takes 2 creep tumors to get down to the bottom of your ramp and over to your natural, rather than the other spawn position, which only takes 1 creep tumor to get to that bottom of the ramp position. So now, I'm not sure if that'll make a huge difference or not, but we'll see. And one thing I want to say about Socke, he's on alternate attacks. Do you know any other players on alternate attacks? I do, but you might not. Dark Force is pretty much the only other player that I've even heard of on this team, which is really amazing to me. So I imagine that Socke must really like the deal that he's getting from alternate attacks if he's not joining something like Mouse Sports or Dignitas, both very, very good European-based clans that play a ton of StarCraft 2. They have amazing rosters already, and alternate attacks, I just don't... I'll have to ask him next time I see him why he sticks with them the way that he does. As far as I know, they actually didn't even manage to get him sent to Dallas, and he had to buy a plane ticket himself, like on the day of MLG Dallas. So I don't know, just some food for thought. Doesn't really have anything to do with this game. Obviously, this is Game 2 in a best-of-3 series, like I just said, and it was played actually as the round of 16 for the TL Open this past weekend on the European server. They will have one more TL Open to determine who will be playing in the TSL3, and I just hope that we're going to see some amazing games like we see each and every week. Players like Kiwi Kaki, TLO, Socke, Maro, and incredible newcomers that people just haven't even heard about before are winning these TL Opens, and it's pretty incredible stuff to see. I cannot wait for the TSL3 starting in March. It'll have a prize pool of like $1 bajillion million. I can't remember how much it is. I think first place gets something like $15,000 though, so it is definitely worth watching. It'll be a huge, massive online tournament, bringing players from North America, South America, Korea, and Europe all together in one big, huge, giant tournament with a ton of money on the line. If you haven't been paying attention to the TSL3, just go to teamliquid.net, read all about it, because it is going to be flippin' awesome, and I cannot wait to watch those games. But here we are in our own game right now. Maro surprising me once again by going for a Roach Warren pretty quickly rather than that little hatchery here at the natural. Very surprising, because Zerg usually takes that hatchery quite quickly here on Scrap Station. In fact, it used to be a point of reference when players said, hey, what is the best Zerg favored map there is? And people would always say Scrap Station, because they are allowed to get their natural hatcheries up so quickly, and it is protected by destructible rocks and a very long rush distance and everything like that. But here we see Socke is actually going to be the first one to take his natural expansion, and he's going to have a nice Forge fast expand. That's right, a photon cannon being dropped already. I've seen Protoss players in this PvZ matchup dropping a cannon or two in their natural mineral line as well as their main mineral line. That means they don't really have to worry about walling off quite as much, as those cannons protect from Zergling run-bys quite well on their own. But this frontal gateway here, protected by only 1 pylon, this actually could be a mistake. I'm not sure. He will want to reinforce all of this stuff here with another pylon, I'm sure, as right now all Maro would have to do is get us around on this pylon and take it out very quickly. But Cybernetics Core also being added to this pylon's burden right now. Socke is checking out the gold expansion just to make sure Maro isn't doing anything too fishy. Sorry, I've got a little bit of case of the burps right now, but that's what I get when I drink Mountain Dew Voltage and 5-hour energies right before I do a cast. Sometimes you have to burp, so I apologize. But Photon Cannon number 2 also being loaded up on this pylon. That is pretty crazy. It almost seems kind of ridiculous. Now another gateway being added on to this pylon, but at least that one will be powered by this one up here at the top, I think. It's got a little bit of power. I'm not sure if that fully works or not, but check this out. Maro's actually starting to spit at these destructible debris back here in the back of Socke's base. If we take his vision, he can see the life going down on the debris, and he sees a little tiny bit of acid spit. I'm not sure what graphics setting Socke plays on, but he should be able to see that. Anyway, a lot of roaches arriving now. 8 roaches off of this one base play from Maro. All he does is pull back these roaches as they are injured. He takes out that first cannon quite quickly. Has not lost a roach yet, but 2 of them are in extremely low health. Socke only has a single stalker here to help defend against this, and Maro, knowing the roaches have superior range than Stalkers or Photon Cannons from this position, start to take out this gateway very quickly. Pylon number 2 finally being added in case this pylon goes down. At least he will have a little bit of a backup. And destructible debris still being worked on by a couple of roaches there. Maro has to be happy with just taking out a gateway and a cannon at this point. He's probably going to lose his first roach here as he starts to move up. Now he can actually take this cannon out extremely quickly. Only 2 little volleys from this number of roaches takes out that Photon Cannon. A lot of probes being pulled from Socke right here to try and block the path of these roaches. That's not really going to help him very much, as he's going to lose a ton of probes in that process and lose another cannon. Still 7 roaches alive here against only a handful of Stalkers. 3 more roaches showing up now for Maro. Still working off of 1 base. Socke losing harvesters here. Maro is actually about even with him right now, despite sending all these resources and larvae here on roaches. He is just going to continue streaming these in. We got action going on at both the natural and the main rank now. Socke is in big trouble. That's really all I can say right now. There's another Stalker here from Socke trying to get all these roaches away from him. I don't know what to watch right now. Pylon at the top of the ramp being focused down a little bit. Pylon right here being focused down. He's actually just taking shots at pretty much everything. 1 roach here in the back does get picked off finally by these 2 remaining Stalkers. But now it's how many roaches here? 7 roaches against only 2 Stalkers. If these Stalkers can't get away, Socke will pretty much lose the game right here, as this number of roaches can kill this number of Stalkers pretty easily here. And roaches are starting to fall down now. Stalkers do have a superior range, and they are a little bit faster, if I'm not mistaken. 2.95 move speed against 2.25, yes. So the Stalkers are faster, they have longer range. Socke can actually kite these all day long, but Maro continues to just crank them out. He's only got 1 hatchery still with a queen spinning on it. He's getting Zergling speed right now. I'm sure he's running out of the resources required to actually build this number of roaches. Speedlings will be a good idea. He is finally dropping a hatchery there at his natural, but Socke has been pretty much cleared out at his main, still just building probes to replace the ones that have been lost so far. Stalker being killed as it's warping in, but Socke actually looking like he might be able to hold this off now. He's only got 2 gateways, warping in Stalkers as fast as he can, but this cannon here at the natural doing some damage, so the roaches can't really come back here. They are killing off these probes, mining gas right now for Socke, and right now Socke actually has a decent number of Stalkers. He will be able to fight this roach force off finally if Maro does not continue to reinforce. I'm looking at the minimap right now. I'm not seeing any more units coming to his aid. I do see another queen being built though, so it looks like Maro is content with the damage that he's dealt. He's just going to let these last few roaches go down. He doesn't really have a choice anyway, as 6 Stalkers with incredible move speed and superior range are going to be able to take these out no matter what. So Maro might have been better off just trying to focus down something he knew he could kill rather than just running around with those roaches sort of aimlessly. There's still 1 roach here in the base for Maro, and you can see him using his little head claws, whatever those are, because he was in melee range. Did you know that a lot of units actually have separate animations for when they're in melee range and when they're in range? Not melee range. Maro getting a second hatchery up now, transferring a lot of drones at the perfect time. Let's look at the harvester count. 22 for Maro, 14 for Socke. Army value heavily in Socke's favor now, as Maro stopped to build a ton of drones. He's only got speedlings right now on the field, but it does have a superior supply count, 41 to 30. That is going to make a difference. Socke obviously still reeling from all that craziness that happened in his base. He's going to have to rebuild a pylon right here, try and get another warp gate up, chrono boost out lots and lots of probes there. I just saw the tail end of a chrono boost on a Nexus, not building anything. But back in Maro's base, he's getting a lair up. He's getting an evolution chamber. He already has a roach warren, obviously. Zergling speed is done. He's getting extractor number 2. Probably will be adding on 3 and 4 soon. And he's got a huge mass of Zerglings, speedlings I should say, headed to Socke's base. So Maro going for a much more aggressive build this time around. Not going to give Socke the chance to get all those Colossi up and dominate his face with force field Colossi combinations. All these speedlings walking right in, surrounding all these Stalkers. I'm not sure who's actually going to be able to win this battle. Lots of probes are being pulled now with their particle beams dealing 5 damage each. This cannon getting in on the action has 4 kills already. It might go down here soon, as Maro still has a lot of speedlings still alive. The cannon does go down. Probes being used as Socke's only fighting forces to be able to defend against this. Speedlings running up into the main mineral line, grab another probe kill there. Single Zealot is out. I'm sure he will be surrounded and killed as well, but not until after killing a couple of lings there, and another probe is going to go down. A gateway trying to be built right now. Maro only has 4 speedlings right here doing some damage. He doesn't even need more than that to keep Socke sort of on tilt here. He's just unable to react to all this. He does not have enough fighting units. He needs more. All those stalkers got surrounded so quickly by those speedlings of Maro, and he's just continuing to rampage here through Socke's main. He just does not have a ton of stuff still. It's 17 harvesters against 38 now, so if Maro just masses up roaches and A moves in here, I'm sure he would be able to take this game at this point. Let's look at the army value right now. 68 supply against 23. That's nearly triple, folks. And Maro knows this. He's starting to move now with a bunch of roaches once again. Socke, I don't see how he can be able to come back here. At least he has another gateway up now, so that'll help his production abilities, but still just having to focus so much time and money on rebuilding probes. Maro back again with a lot of roaches here and only a sentry, zealot, and stalker available for Socke. He's not going to be able to continue pulling probes forever, as he will eventually lose all of them. Cannon is still here at the natural. It's only got 2 kills. Destructible debris going to be broken down, but Maro doesn't even necessarily have to attack through here. He can just move back up here to the front, split his forces, do both. Who even knows what he's going to do? He's got free shots here on this forge, free shots on the destructible debris. Socke still does not have enough units to deal with this. He's got 4 stalkers, a zealot, and a sentry against an ever-growing mass of roaches. 9 of them here now for Maro. It looks like he's going to send a handful more, or just hang around, see what his 9 roaches can do. They will be able to take out a cybernetics core, so no more sentry or stalker warps in for the time being. He just hits the cybernetics core and runs away. No need to really continue with that. Cybernetics core already rebuilding for Socke. He has no additional tech. He's not going to be able to get any immortals or anything to help against this constant flow of roaches. Maro now sending, even more roaches now. That lair has completed. Roach speed has completed. Hydralisk Den coming up now. Evolution Chamber finish getting +2 range attacks now, so these roaches are stronger than ever before. He's just going to break through the destructible rocks here in the middle, cut his run distance even further, and I believe that once he gets through these rocks, he will pretty much drop the hammer, and Socke really won't be able to do anything about it. He's only got a single cannon here. This pylon back here is still not going to be able to power this forge. Stargate coming up now. Interesting little tech switch, but I can't imagine he gets any units out fast enough to deal with this giant number of roaches. Keep in mind, Socke has not even been out of his base in a year or so. He has not got any idea what's in Maro's base. He has not even seen expansion number 2 or now expansion number 3 coming up. He is just in a horrible, horrible position here for this PvZ on Scrap Station. Maro just crashing in here with a large number of roaches. 20 roaches right here against a handful of stalkers. The +1 upgrades are going to help a lot as well. These stalkers only have 0-0, so just the sheer number of roaches is going to be able to probably sweep through here, kill off a lot of probes, if nothing else. Socke still warping in units here in the back. He is up to 6 stalkers right now, killing off a little contingent of 4, but a mass of roaches did move up here. They killed off every probe that was working. They're going to be able to take out this Nexus, even if Socke holds all these roaches at the natural. He has not been mining this entire time with all his remaining probes. A single roach here going to be targeted down, and Socke moves into the main, but Maro still has more roaches than Socke has stalkers. 1-0 upgrades and roach speed mean that they are going to be able to compete here. They actually are faster than these stalkers now, so even with the range advantage, Socke will not be able to kite these roaches very much at all. Single Void Ray is coming out of the Stargate now. It actually will be able to do some damage, but now Maro has burrow and movement speed for his roaches. No robotics facility available for Socke. He just saw that burrow and said, okay, I'm done. There's no way I'm going to be able to do enough damage to these regenerating burrowable roaches without any detection or anything like that. So Socke finally GG's. You'd think that this is just another nail in his coffin, but really that is the straw that broke the camel's back. So in this best of 3 series, we are going to go all the way to a game 3 now. Come check out what map, I believe, since Maro ended up here on Scrap Station. He is a Zerg player. It's considered a Zerg favored map. I'm thinking that these players are picking the maps that they go to next when they lose. So we'll see what Socke chooses here for Game 3. They already played on Lost Temple and Scrap Station, so there's still a good number of options out there. Let's see what they move on to here for Game 3.